So anyways, yes, today's story is about Mitch McConnell. He had he was doing a press release today, and something strange happened to him. So once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button to let me know that you are you hate Mitch McConnell just like me. So let's see the video here. Yeah, if they're writing mean comments, it's proof that you successfully pissed them off. That's true. That's for sure true. Yeah, say hi, YouTube. Poggers. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is what happened at his press release today, okay? You ready? Here we go.
Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Hold on, it's really quiet. Let me turn this up really quick for you.
We're on a path to finishing the NDA this week. It's been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
Okay, Mitch? Anything else you want to say, or should I just go back to your office? Do you want to say anything else to the press? Go back.
Go ahead, John.
There he goes.
Let's go back to you.
Go ahead, John.
Great speech, Mitch.
So this is
Oh my God. These are the people making our laws. Look at this. Look at this monster. Mid-sentence. Completely gets confused and stops talking. Mid-sentence.
cooperation and a string of
Broken. And they call Joe sleepy, Lamau. This is just months after he was hospitalized for falling, by the way.
Okay, Mitch? Anything else you want to say, or should I just go back?
This is fucking
Do you
crazy.
want to say anything else to the press?
So let's watch. There's a CNN video about this, so we'll watch that really quick. But it's insane to me that people like the chip in his brain is deteriorating. It's so true. You've got just these people that are like.
we do have some.
Sorry, that was a little loud. They're on their like deathbeds and they're making laws for us. They're making laws for us. We got him. We got Dianne Feinstein. We've got so many people that are just so old that they can't function, and they're in charge of making the laws. He 100% had an episode and forgot where he was. Yeah, exactly. It's fucking crazy. He's in his mid-80s, I think. Let me just confirm his age. His age, 81 years old. He's 81 years old. Keeps glitching.
Breaking news to report, concerning news, that is that Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, pictured
Not
there,
concerning to me.
just appeared to...
I do want to point out really quick before people jump down my throat in the comments on YouTube, and I know us here live are chill. We're awesome. But on YouTube, they're going to jump down my throat and be like, you should never say bad things about a human being. Fuck that. Mitch McConnell's a monster, dude. He's an absolute monster. Good riddance. I'm glad his brain is gone. I'm glad there's holes in his brain.
freeze during his weekly press conference about halfway through a sentence as he was speaking. Mano Raju was in the room as this happened. And Mano, I wonder if you could describe what you saw and what you're hearing now from McConnell's office.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell, this is every week. He gives a weekly press conference, talks to reporters about the issues of the day. And he began his opening remarks, talking about the legislative business that is happening in the United States Senate. Then he abruptly froze, causing some questions, some alarm among some of his colleagues, and a suggestion that perhaps they should end the press conference hastily. And he later went back to his office for some time, then returned to answer some questions, ultimately said he was fine. But this is the moment in which
Yeah, he's fine. There's nothing weird about what just happened. Yeah, he's completely fine, obviously.
froze in the middle of his opening remarks.
Path to finishing the NDA this week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
Holy shit, dude, there's nothing. Hello? Mitch?
Are you good?
Mitch?
Okay, Mitch?
Just checking.
Anything else you want to say, or should I just go back to your office? Do you want to say anything else to the press?
Nah. He's like, no, I'm good.
Go ahead, John.
Listen, I'll take a break. Let's go back to you.
Go ahead, John.
Bro, he's just fucking dead already. He's basically dead already. Okay, so hear me out. He died 10 years ago, and that is a taxidermy suit on a robot skeleton. Yeah, he was installing an update.
The senator who was initially speaking to him was Senator John Barrasso, who is a physician, asked him if he was okay and want to continue on with that press conference. Recall there has been a number of concerns about Senator McConnell's health. He is 81 years old. Earlier this year, he suffered a fall, hit his head while at an event in a Washington hotel. He was later hospitalized for some time. He was diagnosed with a concussion as well as some broken ribs. He's had some walking issues for much of his life, given that he had polio as a child that he later recovered from, and then has had some incidents in recent years of tripping and falling, including earlier this year in that one incident. So I asked the leader whether or not this was related to that concussion that he suffered earlier this year. He said, "No, I am fine." He did not.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. He said, "Oh, no, what do you mean? I'm fine." Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking about something. I just deep in thought.
All, but he did continue the press conference, did answer some questions, including about impeachment, to talk about potentially impeaching Joe Biden in the U.S. House, as well as the plea deal with Hunter Biden that collapsed, as well as some other discussions, questions about the appropriations process and spending legislation that's happening. So he was able to answer some of those questions. But in just observing McConnell in recent weeks, he's been a little bit...
Yeah, he was just being too smart for a minute. He has a beautiful mind. He was doing mathematics in the air.
He's speaking much slower. He's not as speaking as he's in recent press conferences. He's been speaking with more of a hushed tone, not as loud of a voice as he has had in the past. At one point earlier this year, just a few weeks ago, he was unable to hear questions that were being asked to him that were clearly audible among some of the reporters who were asking at his weekly press conference. So here, obviously, a concerning situation.
See, this is the confusion. This is what he was doing. That's what he was doing. See, where is it? Hold on. It's uncanny. That's what it was.
As the plea deal with Hunter Biden that collapsed, as well as some other discussions, questions about the appropriations process and spending legislation that's happening. So he was able to answer some of those questions. But in just observing McConnell in recent weeks, he's been a little bit speaking much slower. He's not as speaking as he's in recent press conferences. He's been speaking.
He's 81 years old. This is fucking crazy, dude. He's too old to be doing this. People are begging. People are begging for a term limit for senators and for Congress, for everyone basically, and it's not happening. They just keep propping up these corpses, like these grotesque corpses in front of podiums, and they're like, yeah, it's totally cool, it's fine. You know, I bet you people will stop talking about this in like 2 days. And he just literally had like some sort of mental break in front of everyone. And people are just going to be like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. Weekend at Mitchie's, Lamau.
More of a hushed tone, not as loud of a voice as he has had in the past. At one point earlier this year, just a few weeks ago, he was unable to hear questions that were being asked to him that were clearly audible among some of the reporters who were asking at his weekly press conference. So here, obviously, a concerning situation, but as you can hear there, Jim, the leader says he's fine, and he said he can do his job.
Well, deeply concerning. That pause, as you saw it on camera there, lasted an uncomfortable length of time. As you mentioned, Senator John Barrasso, an MD himself, but do we know if the minority leader received any medical attention following this?
It doesn't seem that way, Jimmy. It was pretty quick from the time he left the press conference, from the time that he returned to answer questions. Each of those senators who were pictured there with him were answering or giving their own opening statements before the leader came back to answer about 5 questions or so from reporters. So there was not any time to get any sort of any doctor or anyone to come and diagnose him with anything here. But
he just needed a quick cup of coffee, quick cup of Joe. Hey, that's how I am without my coffee. You know what I'm saying? Hey, put me in front of a podium without my coffee. I'm going to do that too. You know what I'm saying?
But it's very clear that that obviously this could potentially be related to all of the after effects of that concussion earlier this year. But the senator says he's fine, even as a number of senators that are obviously concerned about that unusual moment here in the.
Okay, so. Oh my God, we're getting closer to something very awesome happening. You can tell we're getting closer to something very awesome happening. And in the spirit of that, we're going to look at 11, this is from 2014, but 11 reasons why Mitch McConnell is one of the worst candidates for working families. And then we're going to look at a few memes in the spirit of something very awesome that might happen very soon. So let's take a look at this. 11 reasons first. He opposes wage increases, prevailing wage laws, and black lung benefits. He also refuses to support legislation to secure pensions for mine workers and retirees. McConnell has voted against laws that would help stop outsourcing and has even voted for tax breaks that reward corporations for exporting America's jobs overseas. He said that the government should cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, programs the working class depend on. McConnell is out of touch with Kentucky's working families who are seeing their incomes fall behind the cost of living. He is worth more than $27 million, but blocked and voted against legislation to raise the minimum wage. He supported massive tax breaks for the wealthy while voting against funding to keep teachers in the classroom. He sponsored legislation to permanently reduce the estate tax for wealthy and extend the Bush-era tax breaks for the richest Americans, and opposed legislation that would give aid to states facing financial trouble to keep teachers in the classroom. Instead of helping jobless workers get back on the feet, McConnell blocked legislation extending unemployment insurance benefits. While 40 million Americans are being crushed by student loan debt, he blocked the Bank on Students Emergency Loan Refinancing Act that would have enabled millions of Americans with expensive student loans to refinance into more manageable payments. McConnell has consistently voted against laws that would make it easier for Kentucky workers to get good pay, decent benefits, and real job security. McConnell blocked and voted against the Paycheck Fairness Act, a Democratic bill aimed at narrowing the pay gap between men and women. Many Americans believe that Washington is broken and too many politicians are playing political games instead of coming together to solve problems for working people. McConnell called himself a proud guardian of gridlock. And finally, according to the Washington Post, Mitch McConnell raised the art of obstructionism to new levels. When McConnell and his united GOP troops couldn't stop things from getting through the Senate, they made sure the Democrats paid a heavy price for winning. There you have it, 11 reasons why we hate Mitch McConnell. And now for some memes. The demons on Charmed after Piper froze them.
Cooperation and a string of
Okay. Bro realized. He said. Oh my God. Okay, and I saved the best one for last.
Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to your...
Bipartisan cooperation.
It was so hard squeezing to fit under that podium and making sure my throat didn't make any noises. Thank God I zipped him up before they pulled him away. Oh my God. Oh my God, man, fuck Mitch McConnell. Fuck Mitch McConnell. Something very awesome may or may not happen very soon. And that's great. That one is the fave. Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be.